Today we're talking about Streets of Rage 2 for the Sega Genesis with a full playthrough.
Johnny Lawrence is fighting Scott Farkas from Christmas Story.
You'll enjoy this, Shadwick. Blaze, you can see her white thong in the Japanese version.
Shadwick, there was something wrong with Blaze's underwear.
Yeah, it's not my mouth.
You're trying to see my panties? God damn it!
You know what he is? He's just the guy from Roadhouse.
These chicks. Oh, there he is. A polar bear fell on him.
Wow.
And a police car would drive in from off screen, and a cop would get out of the car and
The game that did get a perfect score was Echo the f***ing Dolphin, which is one of the shittiest goddamn games ever.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
Welcome to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for, with your hosts, Chris, Leaf, and Shadwick.
That is what I sound like.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for. Today we're talking about Streets of Rage 2 for the Sega Genesis with a full playthrough.
What happened in 1?
It actually never happened. There was not a 1.
There was a listen, it was the early 90s. There was an N-word controversy, all right? we skipped past 1. I'm sorry.
Getting spicy early, man. With that, be sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and hit that alert button and all of those good things, man. So, Streets of Rage 2, Leaf, this was one, those that don't know, me and Leaf grew up together. This is a game that we probably rented so many times we could have bought it about 17 times. So we were day one out of the gate from Blockbuster or wherever we were renting movies from. Shadwick, where do you remember first playing this one?
I don't remember it.
It's just a forgettable game.
No, I mean, I know I did. I wasn't like huge into like the side scrollers.
Yeah.
Outside of being in the arcade, like.
Oh yeah, man. What was a different element then?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed like X-Men, Ninja Turtles, Simpsons.
Well, I think with us too, like, we kind of talked about this off air, that it was kind of that when you're playing it with your friends, like you would in the arcade, it's just a little different. Me and Leaf happened to grow up on the same street, so it was just, this was one of those beat 'em ups that took it to a different level. I think my first one, if you guys remember your first beat 'em up, I think my first was Double Dragon for a Nintendo Entertainment System.
I remember my first beat 'em up.
It was on the playground. Go see our playground episode. Sponsor podcast.
It was probably some guy's poor sister.
But what's great about this game too is like, to get this started in video games for some reason, just random food that was on the sidewalk that you would pick up for health, which I was always like, man, why didn't Subway get in on this? Which leads me over to shit stuck in my head this week.
I'm totally screwed. Like those poor guys who had to come up with a new ad campaign for Subway.
Hey, I'm Mike. I like sandwiches and people my own age.
Subway, please don't think of pedophilia.
Well, maybe they should not serve something so phallic shaped.
They shouldn't, man. I mean, look,
Poor Subway, man.
dude, look, we're coming in hot this way, which actually is going to lead the Subway CEOs to dude, terrific. So today, man, while we're doing all this, I've got some Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA sponsored our podcast. Dude, I don't know, man. This one is really good, but it's one of those that I got to be a little careful with them. Sometimes they sneak up on me, and then next thing I know,
You're juicing yourself.
yeah, I'm basically like,
Doris, could you get me another drink?
That's
Leaf,
good. This is
Leaf, what do you got, man?
This is the episode to do that, dude. I'm hitting beer, dude. I'm hitting a quality beer, a island style lager, the classic Land Shark. Dude.
Nice.
I'm pouring it as we speak. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people make fun of me for drinking this, but
Dude, it's after the Dana Carvey episode, little maybe throwback to some SNL early on, the Land Shark.
Oh, Land Shark. Come on in and have a root beer. We got Oreos and
dude, it's the every.
That's not an island beer, man.
It's the every man's like Corona, dude. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Dude, Shadwick, I think I've got an idea maybe what you're rocking with.
I got a nice glass full of dehydrated first morning piss.
Also known as Summer Shandy.
Yeah.
Shadwick brought early 20s amounts of alcohol to our writers retreat. And it turns out we were like, oh, it's been 4 beers. I've got to go to bed. We've got an early morning tomorrow. So, yeah, guys, we also want to go ahead and shout.
Why did it make me talk like that and not want to? Makes me not want to spend money for some reason.
I don't know. It's just what it is, man. Dude, also shout out to Travis, our rewinder of the month. Man, we really appreciate you supporting us all the way from down under. Insert whatever Crocodile Dundee quotes we want here.
Travis, you think we should call it the rewind of the month? Because then I could make a T-shirt and block out some of the letters so it
All right.
basically says
It says R-E and then some censored things, and then there's a D on the end, like
Right
pan.
now, Travis is watching this, and he's like, "Oh, screw!"
But for real,
it's like, I'll have me one of those.
yeah, for real, man. Travis, a real one. Thanks again there, brother, man. So let's get over into our topic, guys. This one is going to be Streets of Rage 2. We're going to watch a full playthrough. So audio listeners, I very much encourage you to watch this video on YouTube or Spotify, and you can watch along with us. But I guarantee you we will talk through the whole thing because we do not have a problem doing that. So just watch a movie with us. That's really fun for everyone else that's not us.
We've seen 1,000 times. We just like quote it.
I'm like, oh, Shadwick's just doing the lines right before they happen, man. So, Leaf, if you want to go ahead and cue it up for us.
I'm gonna be doing lines before we're over. Before we get through this, man, I'm just
Like the Terminator.
All right, y'all ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, man, let's go ahead.
All right, we're hitting it, dude.
The nice Sega logo for queuing purposes, Chris. But yeah, man, this is Streets of Rage 2. Leaf, I know you got some boring ass facts. Who were the playable characters in this? You had
Bro, we have in this one we have returning from Streets of Rage 1. We have Axel.
Let's just stop with Axel.
Got a beautiful body, man.
He does have a beautiful body, man. So
He does. We got Blaze. We got we got actual Shadwick makes an appearance in this. Is
yes.
Shadwick makes an appearance as the Max Thunder pro wrestling character.
Yes.
And finally we have.
that's not my wrestling name. My wrestling name is VJ Wrecker.
It is, yes. It always has been.
All right. And finally we have Eddie Skate Hunter, Adam's younger brother in
Right.
this particular game, dude. And I mean, right out of the gate, people are like, where the hell is Adam? Like, why is his younger brother in this? The devs didn't actually think he had a unique playstyle, so they replaced him with 2 other characters.
Yeah, I do feel like that Axel and him kind of played the same in the first one, right?
They did. Yeah, they did.
When Eddie got older, did he move to the islands and move over to fight in Tekken?
Yeah, I think so.
He actually he defeated a wicked fentanyl addiction, only to end up.
They should have had that. They should have had that in the game. You know.
Yeah, they did, dude.
He beat that wicked fentanyl addiction just to grow up and have a goddamn family. now he has 3 dependents and a fucking 9-to-5 that he hates.
Yeah, swing and a miss, kids.
Gotta miss cocaine.
God, I miss cocaine.
On this playthrough, we're gonna be watching Axel and Blaze, which is really unique to Chris and I. I just want to say, Dude, like I played Axel, Chris played the more than over-sexualized Blaze.
Yeah, for sure.
And we had such a good time, man, playing through this multiple
Yeah, dude, and
times.
this is a beat 'em up. I know, Leaf, you got some boring ass facts. We kind of all got some probably some things we want to talk about on this.
Fire fist.
Yeah, fire
man.
fist.
Does it stop at the fist, or does it go all the way to the elbow?
I mean,
I think it goes to
Yeah.
elbow. Leaf, you got some boring ass facts you want to go ahead and kick off while we're watching level
I
1 on this?
do, man. For the uninitiated, Streets of Rage 2, known as Bare Knuckle II in Japan. I'm sorry, that's how they say it, for real. 1992, beat 'em up. Actually released at the end of 1992 in December. For the holidays. 1992 beat 'em up developed by Sega for the Sega Genesis in the US and the Mega Drive in Japan. The game is the follow-up sequel to Streets of Rage, released in 1991. Had a development time, guys, of around 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, and so Streets of Rage 1 was for I don't know anyone that had. I guess it was it called the Master System?
The Master System, yeah, it was.
So it was an 8-bit Sega console that I know 0 people had this. Like, I don't think it was very big in the United States. Everybody went with Nintendo here.
There was 1 or 2 people that I know that had one, but I never got the chance.
So if you did have a Master System, shout out in the comments down below, because that's one of the things where it's like, I kind of want to go back and find them. On my arcade cabinet, shout out Quality Arcades. Go over there and with our promo code Be Kind, get yourself an awesome cab. But they have a lot of Master System games on there, and they're just very, very similar to Nintendo.
Right.
Hey, is Axel, was he based off of William Zabka as Johnny Lawrence, or
Dude,
or when he was in just one of the guys?
Listen,
Because he put the gloves on before he.
but so throughout
100.
this game, you guys are gonna notice if you pay attention, a lot of like late 80s, early 90s like cultural references. Believe it or not, whether you agree with what he looks like or not, he is the Japanese representation inspired by Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's why you're gonna see a lot of sort of Jean-Claude Van Damme, maybe kickboxer.
Dude, I'll tell you fucking right now, these motherfuckers were pro wrestling fans that developed this one. 100%. Is that Sean Penn?
Dude, that's the 80s punk rocker right there,
Dude,
man.
no,
It's
that's just fucking goosed Sean Penn.
Is that Bebop and Rocksteady before they mutated?
And there's, like I was talking about, those could be Subway sandwiches. They don't have to be turkeys. Delicious turkeys. Who's just dropping these turkeys on the?
Look at that combo.
I know, man.
Street chicken, man. Chickens.
So that was kind of new to this, right? Like for a beat 'em up, throwing in combos.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Like, so this game was actually developed because Sega needed a Street Fighter II killer for their console. For those who don't remember, Sega lost that sort of bidding war for Street Fighter II to be ported.
Actually, the one that broke the mold, apparently, and I wasn't aware of this when I was reading that book on Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was like the first one that debuted on both systems at the same time. That was not really ever done. It was either or. So when Street Fighter II went to Nintendo SNES, then they were like, we gotta have something to compete with that, because that was a big loss.
Yeah, it was huge. So like they're like, hey, we need something. And so actually what's crazy is Sega got the company that made the primary company. There was a few companies involved, like full disclosure, but the primary company that made this game was called Ancient. And it was started by a man named Yuzo Koshiro and his friend composer Motohiro Kawashima. And also in the company was Yuzo's sister, co-lead designer who was a pixel artist, primary designer for all of the graphics that you see.
Dude, have you ever seen those? Have you ever seen those sketch arts, the pixel shadow? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Like, that's wild to me how you come up with, like, I've seen, obviously the old Marios and how they would come up with it in a pixel drawing. It's just how your brain works that way.
You see how they're walking behind the lights?
Yes.
Like that dither, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wasn't that from they got that from Sonic, like the waterfalls?
Yes,
they did. They like the artist figured out that like on the waterfall in the Sonic level, they're like, dude, we could use that for lighting, and they got really clever because again, this was only 16.
It's 16-bit, but this is a
megabits.
step up from like the 8-bit, because I believe those people also did the Game Gear Sonic. I think that's
Yes.
how these people got their nod. Is they were like, hey, then they got the bit for this.
Well, they did an 8-bit. This is something that a lot of people don't remember. Ancient, the same company that did this game, did an 8-bit version of Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Master System. Did you ever play it?
No,
I never did.
because I didn't know anybody with a fucking Master System.
Dude,
that
man,
didn't
like,
exist.
Who knew there was
that
an 8
something before the Genesis?
It
Yes.
came after, yeah, but they made the 8-bit Sonic the Hedgehog afterwards for the Sega Master System, and it was a huge freaking hit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, who knew? Like, not
Yeah,
me,
this
for
was
real.
but this was one of the ones too. So like stage 1 is now clear. This is one of the games for us. I think it was one of the first ones where you just kind of could have fun and unplug and beat the shit out of some people. I mean, you would get good. You know, you'd learn the combos. You'd learn different ways to attack. Of course, like, you know, every game, every boss has a weakness or whatever. But this game, I remember us. You would beat it, but it wasn't. It'd be like, cool, let's play again. The replay factor on this was massive.
It was so massive, dude.
And I don't remember why.
Oh, Johnny Lawrence is fighting Scott Farkas from Christmas Story. I hope he's hydrating, because all that turkey, he's going to.
Dude,
He's
can you
going-
imagine his sodium intake?
Oh, he's going to end up with piles for sure.
Because it's,
fine. They'll
it's rotisserie chicken, you know?
They wash
and-
it down with alcohol. It's fine.
And you know, not for nothing, but I'm sure they pre-negotiated that when they get to the end of this, he's going to get to blow his sprites all over her.
And they have pixel art for that.
And
They do.
yeah,
It's not known.
So
like-
also, did you so look at these motorcycle guys, right? Total like fucking Mad Max shit, right? Like that's like they borrow so much. We'll talk about it as we go through here. There is so much pop culture in this that they could get away with it back then, right? Like you could just be like, hey, I've got a fucking exact replica of a Mad Max on a motorcycle, dude, and it's okay.
Like, these are complete Kawasaki's, which was so popular in the 80s, dude. Like,
oh,
these
did
are
he just try to mount her?
Yeah,
Yes.
he did, dude. That's one of the things, like, some of the moves in the game, dude, like, it was one of the first beat 'em ups you could grab other players, right?
Yeah, you could
like
you could fuck each other up.
Yeah,
and
you
like
could-
and it would take your life far away. It was not a good time. Leaf and his brother, for instance, do believe came to blows over this game in real life because Leaf,
Like
quote
Kanye?
yes, no, not that way, but Leaf, quote unquote, did it on purpose.
That's what started it.
It wasn't accidental. He did it on purpose.
He
So-
did. He scratched it in clear daylight.
That looked like the Road Warrior's gay cousin.
It was. What a rush. Yeah.
All the character design, I mean, you got to know that a lot of this came from the Warriors as well.
Yeah,
Some of the
that's
games.
true.
I mean, clearly we're on the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, right? Like, it's red. Like,
I didn't
dude,
realize too, if you pay attention, like in the background, like a lot of times the level will go to that level, like the level you're on, you will progress to what's in the background on the next level and stuff.
They
And
had
so
it in
here's
the
some
same-
blood
Hey,
sport
this-
shit right here.
Oh, this looks like a dirty sex club. Like,
So this is
are those guys? Are they chained to the wall back there?
nah, they're cheering. Okay, now they're fighting.
Oh God!
Well, then, look, man, this is a little bit of a bathhouse situation here. You know, it is Fight Club. You don't talk about it. What about that one guy that was supposed to wear all yellow and he wore purple instead? And they're like, God damn it, Terry, we said yellow today.
all those guys jump off the wall, and he's like, "Cinnamon apple, cinnamon apple." That's my safe word.
Bro, like, honestly, like the color, what they've done with this game in the graphics department too. Like, I know there's color changes, and people still do that to this very day in video games. It always pisses me off, and I'm like, guys, they only did these color changes because they had a limited amount of space
memory,
on the cartridge. While this one pushed sort of the limit for what could be done on Sega Genesis games. Like, you don't have to do that now. All right, you're just being lazy.
Dude, and
Stop it.
so,
Suplex City, bitch.
yeah, I know, that's what I mean. It's just Brock Lesnar before Brock Lesnar. Leaf, you're actually going to do the editing on this one in post, so I guess you're talking about what a big fan you are of the music in this, so just know there's probably going to be pauses here when new levels start. You'll get a little taste of the music and things of that nature, so we're still here if you're listening to the audio. But again, I got to say, go to YouTube, go watch this with us, you know, and especially on the live rewind and stuff. I can definitely see us doing some more games here and there, you know, just little clips and snippets. This is kind of fun because it's let's just be honest, it's kind of an off day for us, right, man? We're just sitting back reminiscing.
Beat his Rocketeer ass.
Yeah, and so this was the Rocketeer, right?
It's actually inspired by the Rocketeer.
Yeah, 100%.
So on the board, so like the dev team would put things that they enjoyed or that they really liked for inspiration. And Rocketeer was on there. There was for skate. There was rollerblades.
Yep.
Like there was like, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who actually makes an appearance later on in the game, believe it or not, or the Japanese Streets of Rage version of him. And yeah, so there's pop cultural references like all in here, man. And it's so fun to watch because like when you go back, you kind of see a lot of what where a lot of this like came from.
And I'll tell you right now, like my blood pressure started to go up. Like I don't know what it was in 90s games. Any fucking thing that flew, like I could not beat him, and I got real fucking mad and started throwing controllers.
Dude, it's so
those like Ninja Turtles, those things.
Yeah,
that
those
would,
little
like,
fucking the little Baxter Stocksman's little flies.
Shell shock.
Yeah.
Jet,
yeah.
Man, Jet was super annoying, dude, back in the day.
But
man.
so like this also, you know, again, this is a side scroller beat 'em up. So at this point, we had already played Ninja Turtles in the arcade. We had played Double Dragon in the arcade, probably on Nintendo. You had every single one that followed this. I think the X-Men one was probably 92, 93, so it was going to be around this time. Yeah. But you had, you know, the Simpsons arcade came out. It was like literally anything they could throw on a side scroller was going to eat quarters or sell units, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they would turn it like, we know now that, like, the games were rigged.
Oh,
like
for
to
sure.
eat your quarters, right? Like Midway and Mortal Kombat like admitted it. Like if you
dude, on NBA Jam they had something called which we'll cover NBA Jam eventually. They had computer assist. Yes. So if you were up 10 points, you would start missing fucking layups. And they would hit half court shots to get it.
Yeah. I hated that shit so bad.
Dude, my cabinet has it. So like when I'm playing, I have to just know that I've got to keep the gap between 5 and 6, and then I've just got to you got to do a different strategy to end the game. But look, so Bare Knuckle, what is that a shout out to?
Shout out to this game in Japan.
Okay.
So yeah, we got the American version of it known as Streets of Rage, but in Japan it's called Bare Knuckle. So Japan, knowing that the game would
that's
changed.
not right. That dude was just pissing, and he. Johnny took him out. Put him in a body bag, Johnny.
Yeah, dude, he's got the blue hair. What is he, some kind of punker?
Dude, I'll tell you right now.
In a trench coat?
Punkers.
I hate punkers.
Especially bald ones. Ugly green faces.
Yeah.
The sound effects when you punch somebody, dude, is so meaty. It sounds so good. That dude's playing the game like Chris. He's getting killed by Baraka. That cheap corner combo, dude.
Goddamn jump kick. But so these dudes, to put this game together though, in like, would you say 6 months? Like 6 to 9 months?
6 to 8 months, dude.
That's fucking nuts. Like to
go
from scratch to, because to be honest, like let's just call it like it is, right? If you play the Ninja Turtle side scroller and then you play the Simpsons side scroller, it's the same fucking goddamn game.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they definitely they changed some levels to be Springfield, but the gameplay and everything, like they already had everything set up. So I bet you they cranked that bitch out in like fucking a month.
And that's one of the dude, absolutely. And that's one of the differences in this game is that the abilities and the movesets are so much more detailed than even all of those games. Like, and this game came before some of those. Like typically, so the Sega Genesis controller was 3 buttons, right?
Right.
Like you had a jump button, you had an attack button, you had a special button. And it's like, how do you get combos out of that? Well, like we said before, the Street Fighter is sort of what this is based on. So you had like forward, and the special button,
correct,
or forward, and the attack button would do various different moves. If you hit jump when you were thrown, you could actually land on your feet. I don't know if you've seen people do it in this playthrough.
Actually, like, so Sean, he'll be on a couple. If you've seen us on the live rewind, he's been on with us. But Sean was supposed to be on for this one. His internet crapped out, as we've had bad luck apparently, right, Leaf, with power outages and internets as of late.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But anyway,
would you like me to remind everyone?
Yeah, so when I was me and Sean used to live together. Actually, like I think like 3 different times. We truly loved each other. But anyway, one of the last times when we were over in that North Shore house, I had an emulator. I found one before I found my actual Sega Genesis I have now. And so I bought a copy of Streets of Rage 2, and we were playing it. And you know how like Sean like grabs onto something and it pisses you off, and then he just keeps doing it.
Yes.
So we were
Zaw?
Yeah, like Zaw, right? So he was in there, and all of a sudden I hear him. He's playing with like the big goose dude Max, and I just hear him be like, "To the max." To the max, to the max, like over and over again. Where I was like, dude, you've got to fucking stop. And then he would stop for like 5 minutes, and then like seconds later, you'd be like, to the max, and I'm like, God damn it, dude. So shout out Sean.
So, Leaf, you said something about an Arnold Schwarzenegger character?
Yeah, dude. So actually, Mr. X, the main antagonist, final boss of this game, is based off Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But
So they
Japanese?
say. But I mean, he has long black hair.
Yeah.
But he's like yoked, and he actually uses like a Tommy gun.
he's like,
I mean,
he's like, I'll be back.
Yeah. Cocaine.
okay, maybe loosely based.
So
right?
was that the woman with the whip? Was that
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a Catwoman?
I mean, yeah, like anything.
I mean, they didn't
became-
dare put the actual. They didn't want the Batman brass coming after him for sure. So
Dude,
What year did this come out?
So this came out in 1992 at the end, but
Yeah, almost
93.
93.
92, not almost. It was literally right before Christmas, I believe.
Right. Well, I think that's right around the time that Batman Returns came out.
Okay.
So
So
it would have
probably
been.
not,
This would
yeah.
have been in development
It
before
was
the
in
movie
that-
came out.
So it was in that kind of vein, but yeah.
But also
maybe-
the Dominatrix with a whip. That thing's been around for fucking forever.
Well, it has, and like speaking of that, there were things that didn't make it into this game.
Is this where the giant rats get them from Princess Bride?
Princess Bride.
Which
No,
is actually kind of terrifying. Have you watched that recently? Like the giant fucking rats.
I watched
like,
it about probably 3 or 4 years ago, and yes, it's super terrifying.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet in a long time. But
Well,
yeah,
it's terrifying. We're definitely going to be covering it on the show. But yeah, man, it's terrifying. This is actually where I think is this level where we get to see the fucking Ultimate Warrior.
Not yet. It's
Okay.
coming. It's coming soon. This.
I don't know, but you got black guys just popping up out of the ground.
They coming out of the ground.
Yeah,
where-
dude,
well,
it's
listen,
weird.
You already know. Like if you look at the background and you look at like some of the like eggs that are destroyed, this is Alien, dude.
Right, dude, 100%, right?
Oh, 100%
that's right. I
Alien.
remember this boss. Okay.
Yeah,
But
with the head.
Blaze is like, it's way too warm for there to be black ice out here. He's like, I said, watch out for black guys.
Guys, you misinterpreted the rules. Yeah, this one was another one of those. This boss is actually pretty easy if you kind of knew what you
Yeah,
were doing.
if you knew where to stand in the right place, you could just kick him and his head would bounce to the other person.
Yeah, and
and
you
if
could
you had
kinda
two
do a
players,
little-
you could
you
just
do a
kinda
little
juggle him.
do a little reverse action. But
Yeah.
But
But dude, so there were a lot of things that were in the Japanese version that didn't make it. Specifically, and I know you'll enjoy this, Shadwick. Blaze, you could see her white thong in the
Oh.
Japanese version.
Chadwick,
When
there was
she do her
something wrong
jump
with
kick.
Blaze's underwear.
Yeah, it's not my mouth.
Blaze is like, you trying to see my panties?
You trying to see my panties? God damn it!
That's weird because don't they blur out their porn?
I mean, yeah, but they don't blow out the pantaloons though, man. That's
Yeah,
like
man.
a big thing for them.
Okay, so obviously, speaking of Street Fighter, here is your Blanca representation in this.
Legitimately.
100% ripped off. Like,
Yeah.
there's not even a question that this was, and doing the same goddamn move too. Like,
Dude. Yeah, some of the same. Yeah, doing the actual role, and I mean, like,
Didn't the guy that did this, wasn't he playing Street Fighter and
Yeah.
he got obsessed with it?
he
Yeah.
was addicted.
yeah,
like,
he was addicted to it.
Him and the team were so.
He said he was addicted to this and something called hentai.
It's called hentai, and it's art.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know
but-
what that one is. You don't. Yeah. Chad's gonna have to
and
explain. that, but-
Bukkake?
Bouquet? Is that what it is? Bouquet? Anyway, but yeah, so I don't know why YouTube sometimes rates our things not suitable for ads.
I think you're
don't know
putting
that.
the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Thank you, Mike Myers. But as you can see, Blanca was defeated Like, when I saw this, I remember we were playing this and we were like, dude, what the, like, as this game progresses, there were some early on that weren't as obvious, but that one I was just like, oh, okay. Like,
Dude.
you just literally ripped that pixel for pixel off.
And guess what, Chris? It goes both ways, man, because that move that Blaze does is called the Kyoken Show or something like that. Guess who does it in Street Fighter 2 Alpha? None other than Chun-Li.
Really? That's funny.
Yep, and guess what? Didn't come. I mean, can you say it didn't come from this?
Oh,
it's
no.
blue. It's like a
Dude.
fireball that only comes
All right.
that far out from her hands.
I've got to say this. So those dudes, I'll get them next time they like run around. The guys that just like run around with a knife, like
With a knife.
Yeah.
I always
they
like
just-
in my brain they were always like Rain Man. They were always like, oh, definitely gonna stab you. Definitely gonna stab you. Like that's like what was well, even as a kid.
I was thinking Beavis and Butthead, just laughing as they're approaching.
I'm gonna stab you.
I was thinking do baseball. You know what I mean?
And then the redheaded guys are like, yeah, see?
Yeah, see, I'm out here to rough you up. See. Look at they've got the signs that say "the baseball."
Dude, in the background you got the Magic Kingdom from Disney.
Oh, yeah,
Disney
that's
World.
right.
Like, don't even forget it. It's the Japanese love Ferris wheels. I never understood that, so that's there too.
Really?
Even though there's not one in Disney World.
I think
know.
like as soon as we're financially stable off this podcast, we're just gonna move to Japan
I
to
think that
record
might be
there
the best
live.
idea.
I think that's
Yeah.
the best option.
I think that would be the best option for
But
us.
again-
When they get to the top of the very top of the Ferris wheel, like they get real wide-eyed before they come down.
Yes. That's exactly what I mean.
Chadwick taking his liberties with an episode you can't edit shit out of.
Yeah, right. Like now, thank you for. Now I regret taking
Yeah,
this episode.
well to go.
dude.
But so here they are inside a baseball stadium,
Dude,
which
man,
with Japanese culture loves baseball, which is one of the reasons they love two things: pro wrestling and baseball, which is why I want to go to Japan because it's
Dude.
like, yeah, me too. I'm like, yo, Tom Bien. They're like, wrong language. I'm like, god damn it,
That's all I do in high school. All right, lay off me.
lay off
John,
me, star.
Johnny's like, I'm not in a swamp.
Bro, I can't wait till we do Mr. Baseball. That's the sports movie
God.
that's the one that I can't wait for, bro.
So this is the level, if I'm not mistaken, that has the dude that had to be inspired from. Go in our archives. Go watch Roadhouse.
yes,
Roadhouse.
Go watch.
Roadhead.
Roadhead.
bro.
Roadhead.
So like that, obviously American inspired. That's why we see the big fat guy momentarily. He's actually supposed to be like an American sports fan. Obviously, that he's eating too much spicy food. That's why.
Yeah,
he breathes.
you know what he is? He's just the guy from Roadhouse.
These chicks with the whips kind of look like part of Sho'nuff's gang.
Oh shit,
Oh my God, they
dude,
did.
that's what I was looking for.
No way, bro. You think that's what it came from?
I mean,
Dude,
when
they
did that
had-
come out? Can someone get our good friend Barry
before
Gordy on line
1992.
one?
Oh yeah, it was 80s.
Mr.
They
Barry
are.
Gordy on line
Yeah.
one. We just beg your apologies still, sir. But
Oh, there he is. A polar
got a
bear
red-
fell on him.
there they are. Man, speaking of baseball, one of these clips popped up on my feed today on Twitter, and it was a brawl between like the Braves and somebody else, but like the fucking fans jumped into the brawl. It was going on so long, and then it just like cuts to like three people getting arrested that just decided, hey, I'm gonna jump over the rail and go fight baseball players because
Some
they're
of the
kicking
most
my home
elite-
team's ass. I think it was the Padres and Braves, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it was like from the fucking 80s or 70s.
Some of
But
the most elite
I was
athletes.
like, God damn it, I missed this.
Man, if it was the Phillies or the Mets or the Dodgers, I may have jumped the fence.
Yeah, that's
too.
what I mean. Yeah, hey.
Everybody
But-
has their team.
But it's funny because the baseball players are throwing punches at each other, and they're not getting arrested, but because the fans came on the field to try to do anything, looks like they get arrested. I'm like, that's assault, brother. But I guess it's under the guise of baseball. But anyway, so here in a baseball stadium, which is also why I grew up assuming this was what every baseball stadium had. If you stood on the pitcher's mound long enough, then you're going to go underground to basically
Of course, dude.
the
because
Technodrome.
That's where the syndicate boss is, dude.
There's Bolo Young.
Dude. So some of these you may not recognize if you don't know anime, but like a lot of these were inspired by like early 80s, early 80s, late 80s anime. So that's also in here. Like one of the later characters, Ayano Koshiro wanted in the game, but they totally denied her, leaving her in absolute tears, dude. And you know, it's a shame.
Those guys right there remind me of some of the guys from like Fatal Fury and Samurai Showdown and things like that.
Dude, you have ninjas, you've got like kung fu masters just randomly mashed together, and like that's the cool thing about the plot. Like, dude, it's like about Mr. X and his syndicate, right? So like he brings in like all like the meatiest, beefiest fighters. Speaking of that, Chris,
here we go.
Hey, what was that? Wasn't there something called like Shinobi or?
Yeah.
There he is, the fucking Ultimate Warrior, and let's not forget what background is he in right now? He's in fucking Vega's fighting a domain fighting pit from Street Fighter 2. Yes. So anybody that played Street Fighter 2 and knew Vega, he could jump on the screen behind you. That was his like one of the cool move. He was one of the four, I guess 3 sub bosses, or was it 4? 3 to 4 sub bosses before you got, to M. Bison. But anyway. This is definitely the Ultimate Warrior. There's no way to hide this.
I should just attack him with needles.
And they're very lucky. Yeah, they're very lucky.
If you wait till the time like goes all the way down, he actually ODs live.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Punch him in the heart.
What's good about doing this in a video game is Vince McMahon didn't play video games, but you can rest assured if he did, he would have sued the absolute shit out of him.
If he had known.
You're fired. But man, so that was like
you're all a bunch of whores.
I want you to crap on my chest. Allegedly. Yeah, but like you said though,
go in my drawer and pick one out.
Like through this, going back with especially with us doing the podcast for close to 2 years now, and really deep diving into all this pop culture. You can definitely see like where they were just like, we're just gonna do a beat 'em up. The plot doesn't really need to be super thick in this.
That is a fucking guy from Roadhouse.
I told you, man.
It is him, dude. Getting his ass like combo, dude. And that was the other thing, dude. We talked about like Street Fighter, like see the combo, Axel's doing, like that was so unique. It still is. You're not gonna find that in Ninja Turtles, even probably to this very day. Like they did some. I mean,
it's super inventive. But I'll tell you this. This was always a nice weekend, and this became a comfort game for me and Leaf. So we beat it. We played it forever. Probably rented it 4 weekends in a row. Then we go through our phases. We do our Street Fighters, Mortal Kombats. You go to Blockbuster, whatever movie rental place. If there was nothing there, we would rent this. And then that would just be the weekend, right? Like you would
play this again.
Yeah, we just play it again, and this was kind of like almost a comfort game where it was like, okay, nothing else is going on. Like this is fun. Let's see if we can beat it. Then you start setting goals of like,
are those fire extinguishers back there?
They are.
Can you pick those up?
You can't in this particular game. No, you can't. There's just like graphical background stuff. And I mean,
Okay, so here you go. So who is that?
Kickboxer.
Yep, exactly.
That's Tong Po.
Yeah, yes, dude. It's like a Muay Thai, like kickboxer, like dude. He has
exactly,
the thing.
dude.
Yeah, dude. He's doing the stance. Like, thank you. You recognize like a lot of that stuff. This is one of the games. Okay, so
Mei Ling, good fuck.
Dude, before the fight, he's dipping his gloves in the glass with the glue, dude. Like the sap, the tree sap. Dude, this is one of those games. If you can play it and it holds up, I am telling you. I've
got the original one like for Sega. We should, I have it on the arcade cabinet too. We should do a playthrough and like.
I would come watch you and Shadwick play this, and I would watch because I played it a billion times since.
Oh, I've got it on the
our
cab.
childhood.
We could all play it at the same time.
Shadwick would absolutely love it, dude. It's such a good game.
But it's again like it's a beat 'em up, and what I realized is because they recently, well I say recently, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, they released a new Streets of Rage. And then I truly realized how shitty I am at video games now. It's probably like I remember, I have this vivid memory of my grandfather before he passed away, and he was like in his 80s, probably mid 80s, late 80s, and I was shooting basketball outside before he was like about to go back home, and he goes, "Give me the ball," and I was just like, okay, and like I hit him with a sweet bounce pass, and then he just grabs the ball, and he goes
fucking jammed it.
No, he goes off muscle memory, and he's like probably at the free throw line, and just goes and shoots a hook shot from the free throw line, and it like is almost perfect. It rims in and out, like it's like a goo, but he lost his balance and like. Luckily, the fucking car was behind him, so he like just took 2 steps back into the car. If that wasn't there, he would end up in the fucking front yard down the hill. But I was like, that's basically what it was like when I played Street Fighter 2 or Streets of Rage, the new game again. I was like, I used to be good at this, and I rimmed in and out, and then almost fell down the goddamn hill, and I was bad.
Dad, what's a rim job?
You have to ask for it. You can't afford it, big man. Okay, so that's is that not a double dragon toss right there?
It is absolutely it is. Like you have all of these interactive like sort of things in the background sometimes. Like Shadwick noticed in the bus you had guys sort of cheering you on. He's like, what the hell are they doing? Well, they were like background, and now they sort of enter in the game. And like in this moment you had guys tossing grenades like, through the windows. There's things happening like in the environment, and that was also extremely unique to like this particular game.
Well, I feel like Double Dragon did touch on that a little bit, but they
did.
What I meant is like one of the characters in that I believe was like one of the lessons we saw. Like I believe that was a kind of a there was a guy that was like a shadow boss from Double Dragon 2. But okay, so here you go, fucking Bluto
Oh wow.
from Popeye. He's like, put your dukes up, and he's like, I fucking got no dukes.
No. What was the guy's name on Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Oh shit! God damn it! And there's no post for this. Anyway, yes. Is it Bull? Is that his?
I think it might.
I can't remember. I don't know.
Fat guy.
Yeah, fat guy. Fat guy with boxing gloves. You just got to learn his pattern. Oh shit!
His name is Bald Bull.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
And he's 100%, or he's 100% this guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they just straight up were like, "Oh, man, that was 8-bit. We'll just make him better." And then when we're in court, this is before Nintendo and SNES got in their big fucking war, and then they just started, or excuse me, with Sega and NES got in the big war, and they were just suing the shit out of each other.
Yeah, dude.
He just Shoryukened his ass. Like,
yeah. That's the Dragon Punch. Like, dude, like that's what it was though. It's like there in this time period there was like not a lot of copyright. So it's like you could just kind of be like, I like this, but people still do this very day.
Dude, okay.
Like, we all still do
So
it.
in my very limited research of this today, I saw you guys noticed that you see the same characters, but they're like different colors.
Yeah.
You know, different jacket color, different hair color, whatever.
Right.
They basically have this thing, and I use something similar now. I call it a murder board because you have all these like input things. I use a program called Blender.
Okay.
So you have like you create an object. It's a 3D program, but you create an object and then you do like texture mapping on the outside of it.
Right.
So you have all these different like modifiers, and you have like basically, I call it a murder board because it looks like strings like attached into all these different things. Yeah. But like it's so advanced now, it's like completely realistic. Like you can do wood grain or whatever.
But for the purpose of this, you could change one character and make him change.
You could change the color.
Correct.
So
exactly.
It was just attaching. I think they had pretty much like a swatch, like a collection of swatches, and they would just pull that line over to the character and change the color.
Because it's essentially like the memory line is all the characters' moves, all the blah, 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 blah. And if you just change the color, you keep everything else the same in that memory. So it's it doesn't take up more memory or whatever. By the way, shout out to this level. You're on the beach. Anybody that's seen the movie fucking Warriors, this is the last scene of the movie, right? Like it's 100% what this is. This is like you talked about earlier. There's the gangs and shit. It's kind of a play on Warriors, but this is 100% the Warriors.
It is. It absolutely is, dude. And Chadwick's right about the colors. And not only that, it was worse than even what he mentioned, because the Sega Genesis was inferior to the Super Nintendo.
God damn.
That's a good combo. But the Sega Genesis was inferior to the Super Nintendo in generating colors, and so they had limited but as you know, as a player, like you're not going to notice it in this particular game.
And actually Sega Genesis, I shout this movie out all the time when we talk about video games Console Wars, fucking excellent documentary. But they talk about it, that SNES had more colors than Sega, but Sega at the time, before kind of like Donkey Kong Country and all that shit, Sega knew how to use their colors better. So when somebody was like, SNES has, this many colors, you only have this many colors. Sega's campaign was, they had Super Mario World and Sonic side by side, and they're like, you tell me which one looks better.
Yeah.
And they literally were just like, put it out there because they look better. It looked more crisp and clean.
I think Blaze just gave Bolo Young a rock bottom.
Yes, they did. I'm telling you, that there's so many. Actually, that would have been before. You think Dwayne The Rock Johnson stole his finisher from Blaze?
Conspiracy, dude. The conspiracy just happened.
Oh, man, he stole his finisher from a chick.
The Rock doesn't like that one. Sponsor our podcast, Dwayne Johnson. Dude, I'll have to look next time that pops up. That's funny because he came on the scene till like '94.
And these guys I keep calling Bolo Young, they have a similar stance to someone. Is it the green guy in Street Fighter that has like the one hand out? Like,
oh, it's kind of like Scorpion, right? Like the Scorpion pose from Mortal Kombat, where the one behind your head.
No, what's the green monster in Street Fighter?
Blanca.
Blanca.
Yeah, see it?
But his are more by his side. He does the by his side stance.
He's like hunched over.
That one may be like Ryu or Ken, but it is definitely like a Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. That I don't know what martial arts style it is, where that backhand is just cocked.
That's supposed to be.
No. I'm talking about the front hand. It's like coming out like I can't
yeah.
I can't show you, but
Polar Bear fell on him. I mean, we didn't know that much.
Yeah.
It's true. But he died. That's how he died.
We got Prince's security detail back there.
Game blouses.
I want to draw attention again to the music on this. If you notice, like a lot of the music in this game thus far has been inspired by sort of like the techno, like electronic music wave.
Synthesizer?
Mm-hmm.
Synthesizer, yeah, dude. So, like the developer and composer Yuzo Koshiro was a huge fan of that music. In fact, one band in particular, The Prodigy, was like one of his favorites.
So
yes.
they now I knew that they were big overseas before. I think their album, I don't know why the fuck I know this, Fat of the Land. Was their big album that hit.
Yeah, but crashed into America. Yeah.
Right, but that was like my senior year in high school or junior year in high school. I want to say it was like 96, 97 that they hit. But they were big techno, and they were a little more edgy at that point. They were smacking bitches up at that point.
They were, yeah.
Bitches leave.
Bitches leave.
Bitches leave.
This was very much... I can't remember what the band was. I Couldn't Ask for Another. That one.
Like CNC Music Factory.
Right. Like that was kind of what was going on in the early 90s. Was that this kind of bubblegummy stuff.
Yeah. And so,
thank God Blaze has a continue. I was about to say.
She's Axel has 2 lives. Blaze has 5 currently, but yeah, like the music in this was heavily inspired by that kind of like techno-esque music, and you can see that like throughout, like even in the boss fights. If you listen to this track, it's just like something you hear in the club like back then. And
I'll say one of the things that I never would have put money on when we were kids was that like some of these composers are making money like touring still. Yes. As in like they go and play this video game music live.
Yeah.
Like shout out our friend Jonathan Rice. He's got a couple of video game channels out there. I've been watching Rice, super fucking awesome dude we used to work with back at the trucking company. But Rice, he went to go see a couple of those dudes live, and it's like full orchestraical, like these people doing that music, like, and it's a big fucking deal. Not to mention, like, it's, you know, you got to have a lot of talent to write that, but...
So this guy, I know you said it's like a total ripoff of Street Fighter.
Yes.
But you guys remember this old horror movie? I want to say it was called, like, Trilogy of Terror. Early 80s.
Yeah.
Maybe even late 70s. But one of the stories, it was one of those, like, it had, like, three different scary movies in it, you know?
Okay.
And one of them was, like, this lady had this, like, a little doll of, like an aborigine or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like, 2 feet tall. And it comes to life in her house and, like, starts, like, chasing her around.
Yeah.
And it looked like that thing, like...
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know what year that came out?
I'll find out.
Yeah, find out what year it came out, because I wonder if that ended up being the inspiration for Street Fighter.
It's hard to say, like, what a lot of these came from, dude. And, like, any of those things, like I said, Ayano Koshiro, Yuzo's sister, was just, like, took a lot of inspiration from whatever she could find.
Which
when
was
developing the
Roadhouse right
enemies
here.
and the
She was
characters.
like...
Dude, this is 100% Roadhouse.
She loved when the polar bear fell on him. And that he lived.
This is 100% industrial, like 100% industrial music too.
Yep.
Like from that.
They did a good job of matching the music to the levels too. And again, like how restricted they were. Oh, Jesus.
Ooh, censor that out. Damn.
Look, guys, we're in the middle of a game. Can you guys wait till we get off camera?
There's children playing this game.
1975.
Okay, so there's a good chance. Leaf and Post, if you can find, what was the movie called again, Shadow?
Trilogy of Terror. If you type that in and hit images, you're going to see it.
Leaf,
like,
put it
pops
in
right
Post,
up.
yeah, and see if maybe that is the inspiration for Blanca for Street Fighter. So yeah, who knows, dude? We're uncovering some shit on this one.
Yeah, we are, man. We're going in deep, man. Who has more facts than we do?
Are you looking it up, Leaf?
No, I will, man. No. The Trilogy of Terror.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this little doll. It's fucking making my butthole pucker up right now. That was something I watched way too young.
Yeah, obviously, I've never seen it. Also, remember in these levels? Remember these levels where the for some reason in every fucking factory there's moving floors that go opposite ways right near each other all the time, just moving shit through the factory all the time.
The fucking airport things.
Yeah, but they're counterintuitive.
Which you are supposed to walk on, people. You don't just stand on those.
No.
Yeah.
You also don't run on those.
It's to make things go faster.
Dude, it's so like you're seeing a progressive level of difficulty too, right? Like a lot of the enemies get more difficult. Like you still have like dominatrices from the last level, but here's the thing: now you're on a conveyor belt pulling you left and right.
Correct.
Like you can't move as easily, so the difficulty increases because of the design of the level.
If I'm not mistaken, when you use your special, does that not take away your own health?
It does.
And so that was the kicker, right? So it was like you can use it, but only use it in like dire situations.
That's exactly right. Which brings up a hilarious point. In the first Streets of Rage, you could call in like a police support, and a police car would drive in from off screen, and a cop would get out of the car and it would clear the screen.
Yeah.
Like a super ultimate. They did away with that for some reason in this one for those specials that take health to add more strategy to the combat, to the fighting. So yeah, you could wipe out everything around you, but it would pull your health down. So you had to be sparing with those specific abilities.
Yeah, I forgot about the fucking. I just remember vividly seeing that shit.
Blaze has knocked those three guys down like fucking Madame Gao.
Dude, she's so she's so good, dude. She's so good, man.
I could be wrong, but is this one of the first games too, where like towards the end you have to fight all of the bosses you fought to get to the main boss?
This one's not. I believe that happened in Streets of Rage 3.
Okay.
Yeah. This was one of the ones. Yeah, they didn't rehash a lot of the.
Turns out I've had a lot of beer between 1993 and 2025.
That is erroneous. That is false.
It is intense. Yeah, but this was I guess this didn't this win some like awards and shit too?
So this is considered, and this is arguable, but this is considered to be one of the top 10, if not top 5, on most people's greatest Sega Genesis games of all time. Sometimes hitting as high as number 2 and number 3.
Yeah, it's on mine. It's definitely on my top 5 without me even thinking about it.
Yeah,
all these guys are all wearing the sash from Johnny's best friend when they broke his leg.
Yeah. Ugh. Jeez.
Exactly. And so, but yeah, like the game itself, and that's why I tell everybody to go back and play this. You can play it on Nintendo Switch. There's, I think it's on their Game Pass or whatever they call it. There's multiple.
Or just go get yourself a Quality Arcades, guys. Use our promo code.
Dude,
they're fucking badass. I'm just telling
you. Dude, and get the arcade experience live, because that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Like the devs wanted you to experience this in like an arcade kind of format.
Dude,
and it holds up. I'm trying to tell you, man.
I do want to bring up a touch of controversy here.
All right.
A touch of controversy being something I never thought about as a child. So, I start digging in. Actually, there's a Electronic Gaming Monthly Kickstarter you can get out there where they send you, I believe, I've got a physical copy of every EGM ever on the way, like a big book, and I currently have access to their archives, right? So we looked at that a little bit for our interviews, like when they reviewed the game or previewed the game. GamePro, I was able to look up online and find the episode, the issue of GamePro with this. This, from GamePro, almost got a perfect score. The controversy I want to talk about, the game that did get a perfect score was Echo the fucking Dolphin, which is one of the shittiest goddamn games ever. And the controversy I want to talk about is people were in fucking back pockets back then, and we were kids, and we didn't even think about that, right? We didn't even think about this.
You know who would really have a problem with that?
Who?
Hank Hill.
Oh. he does not like dolphins for very good reason. But dude, Echo the Dolphin is like slammed by everybody now, like, right? So there's no way. I remember playing that game and being like, this is bad, right? But somebody in that company fucking threw some money in somebody's wallet in GamePro, whoever, and they were like, this game is great. And as a kid, that was never an option to me. Like, I was like, this is Bible. Like, I'm just going forward with this.
I'm with you, and it just goes to show the bias of the media even back then. And guys, gamers who are watching this podcast, who understand and know about, like, Gamergate, that's basically, like, the entire idea. When gamers realized, and I don't know why they didn't realize this before, but when it sort of became public that the media was in, or the journals were in the back pocket of devs, right? There was a lot of quid pro quo happening.
Yes,
about
Squid Pro Row.
Squid Pro Row. Like the reviews weren't necessarily legitimate depending on who paid who gave what free systems to reviewers for more favorable reviews.
Right.
Like it became sort of a thing, but like when you could see it,
dude. By the way,
games.
Shout out to these two. Particle and Molecule are the robots' names that they're fighting right now, depending on their color rendering.
They kind of have rockin' tits.
They do. I mean, they had a set on them.
Too bad for the ball and chain arms. Am I right, Shuttle?
Yeah. He's like, they have a ball and chain mouth. But dude, what? Okay, so what were these a parody of? Do you guys think?
I have no. I think they were just robots.
So the
RoboCop. Maybe?
The bottom legs can definitely be the fucking what was the
ED2?
Yeah. Can definitely be that, and then maybe the head a little bit, maybe a little Short Circuit vibes, but I don't know when that came out. But Johnny Five is still alive. That's all that matters.
If you had tank treads for legs, maybe.
I just meant the upper
And your
body.
mother was a snowblower.
I believe we're closing on the final level.
We are, man. So again, I want to tell everybody these video game episodes, we just do maybe 1 or 2 a year, but video games were such a big part of our nostalgia childhood because we grew up in the console wars with Sega and Nintendo. So we do enjoy doing these, and so if you can, I know a lot of people just listen You'll be able to hear the sound effects. You'll be able to pick up what's going on. We're gonna walk you through this shit. But if you can watch this,
Blaze has got that knife. She's like, "Come here, Joey. I'm gonna stab you for a second. Show you how it feels."
yeah, how's it feel? But
it's like, well, not as bad as I thought, actually.
but yeah, man, for real. Like, go back and watch this on YouTube or on Spotify. Like I said, we have our video on Spotify. And I think that everybody that were video games fans or, played video games or played this game will really enjoy just all the memories. Like, because, watching this just takes me back to Leaf's living room till his dad got home and kicked us off that TV, and I had to disconnect everything off the back and take it to his room.
Was that a George the Animal Steel headbutt?
Yeah, probably. Dude,
absolutely
he used. Side note: he used my uncle, Captain, who got me into wrestling's favorite character, or one of his favorite characters, because he would eat the fucking turnbuckle. He'd go over there. Turns out,
chew it off,
dude. It turns out George the Animal Steel was like one of the smartest human beings, like in wrestling, and like, which I don't know if that's saying much, but anyway.
Wasn't like Kevin Nash really smart too?
Kevin Nash is really smart, but this was the old wrestling thing. Okay, so
there he is right now.
Yeah,
there's Kevin Nash, dude.
Yeah,
he's here.
There's Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
Shit, man, I had it turned down. I didn't hear the wolf. New world order,
dude.
But, yeah. So again,
man, I missed that actually.
They were massive, fucking wrestling fans. Again, in
they were
Japan.
huge. They were huge.
And what's crazy in Japan, like side story on people that are like, I've known a few guys that were lucky enough to go over and work in Japan, and some of the guys were pretty big over there, but they would go over in Japan and they have these things called sponsors.
Yeah.
That they would get done with a match and they're like, hey, these sponsors want to take us out tonight. And basically what it was is like rich fans that take you out to a bar and then just like pay for everything. They just want to hang out with you.
We hope to one day have sponsors.
Yeah. Sponsor podcast.
What's that like, dude? Like, didn't Hulk Hogan? It feels like every major.
Oh, Hogan was out there,
wrestler.
So what it was? Yeah, man, dude. What it was back in the day is you would go over in Japan. You would work here in the States. Everything was territory based. I don't want to get too deep into this, but everything was territory based. So you would work in say Florida for a while, then you'd work in the Carolinas, and you'd work in Texas, and then you'd go work in Japan, then you go work in Puerto Rico. And the theory is you'd never get stale. So as you came to town, you'd work there for a few weeks, maybe 3 or 4 months. Then somebody would be, it'd be like a loser leaves town match, and then you're just off to a new territory. That's how it worked back then.
But Japan was a little more real, right?
Yes, there was they call it even shout out Luke Gallows, who is with WWE for a long time, worked for New Japan, that I had the privilege to wrestle I think 3 or 4 times. But he when he went to Japan, I wrestled him before he went to Japan, and when he came back from Japan, they always call it strong style when they come back from Japan. And I was talking to him in the back, like joking around, and he was just like, "Oh man, that's not like a real thing." And I was like, "Okay." And we went out there, and turns out when we went in the ring, it is a real thing. And I was like, Jesus Christ, okay, I guess we're going a little snug tonight there, broski. And here we go. But yeah, they keep...
Chris looked like a defeat portrait from Street Fighter 2.
I did. I was like, you lose. But yeah, dude. So yes, they like it a little snug over there, and it's just kind of the style. And those guys are held in such high regard over there. That's really cool. All right, man. Here's the boss, man.
I remember the story about Hogan. He went over there and someone allegedly broke his leg or fractured. Or
no, that was
something.
over here actually. That was when he started. Okay. Yeah, it was. No, it was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it was Hiro Matsuda, I think, that did that. But yeah.
But there was someone in Japan that didn't like him, wanted to beat his ass or something.
There's a lot of that. But what happens is it depends on how much money you draw. If you like Hogan, you draw an assload of money. The promoters are not going to let that happen. They're not going to fuck with their bottom line. So
in this final fight, though, we got Shiva, right? And this is important because Ayano Koshiro, obviously Yuzo's sister and lead pixel artist and development, wanted this to be a character, that guy. And Sega was like, no. To the point where she begged for it, and they were not having it whatsoever. And so we got the final fight here. We got minions all around, and we got
Arnold
Schwarzenegger, aka Mr. X, with a Gatling gun. multiple health bars, just gunning down everyone. Also, if I'm pretty sure, his gun hits the enemy, so he doesn't even give a fuck. He just shoots everyone, man.
So, do you remember the first? I don't remember which game it was. This was a trick that's happened a lot in video games. You'd bust your ass, you beat the final boss, you see his health bar, it goes all the way down, you're like, hell yeah, I've won. Yeah. And then he regenerates into something else, and you got to beat him again. And I don't remember the first game that happened to, but when it happened, I almost threw the fucking controller through my goddamn TV. I was so fucking mad.
That became a trope later on, dude. And yeah, it was the most annoying shit ever, dude.
I'd fucking ready to punch something.
Anticlimactic thing I've ever seen,
dude. I mean, you get an ending, and the ending is
it's not
like
over.
4 pixels.
That was more anticlimactic than my last marriage.
He's like, it's really. like Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. She's like, enter your initials, and he's like, my initials are private. And she's like, well, just enter 3 letters, and he's like, A-S-S.
As all of us did, or F-U-K if you were really based.
For sure. But so you get your ending
Mr.
here.
X is defeated, dude, including the players.
They're like, all right, who's gonna fuck him first?
And then there you go, Leaf. There's your shout outs to your main planning, your system design.
Shout Ancient, dude, and other developers. That
Leaf, do you want to shout out the game channel we actually were allowed to use this from?
I will in the description. Y'all check the description for the channel we use this footage from. Shout out to them. Extremely generous for allowing us to do this. And there's Adam from the first game. He returns gloriously. They rescue him. They wrote him out because he wasn't unique enough. Absolute racism, sexism in this game. Disgusting.
Unique
you hate to see it.
New York.
As wrote Polygon. Oh, that's right. They're out of business. All those people are working at McDonald's, and rightfully so. F the media, games, especially games media, disgusting mutants. Even Max is like thumbs up. Shadwick's like, I enjoyed this game. Didn't play it much, but I enjoyed it. But you guys should. You guys should actually play this game.
This is on 1,000 fucking emulators. It's on Switch. If you have a Switch, you can find it on the line online.
If I was going to go out and purchase like a handheld game right now, like a console, what would you recommend?
Man, a handheld console.
All right, what are you looking? If you're looking to play old games like this, like if you were looking to play old games like this with the least amount of "is this okay to download" type shit, a Switch is where it's at.
Switch is where it's at.
They have all the Nintendo, a lot of Sega, a lot of SNES. Like
that being said, the Switch 2 is on the horizon as of recording of this podcast, man.
So the new Switch will be super cheap, is what that means, because that's what we care about.
The last thing that I got as far as handheld was, what was the Sony one?
The PlayStation, the PSP or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. It had like the little discs.
All right, guys. So that was our playthrough. Again, like that game just brings back so many memories. Again, sitting on Leaf's, what I as a kid thought was probably a 42-inch TV, in reality was a 20-inch. Which I try to tell my wife that all the time. I'm like, hey, this is what 6 inches looks like.
Listen, God.
But then, I mean, I don't know, like walking down, I remember all that shit, like walking down the street, being so fucking stoked, us being at Blockbuster, like, going to rent the fucking game and all that stuff. Like, just so much fun, man. Like, Shadwick, just kick anything up for you?
I think we talked about it a little off air. Like, you guys like play this together, and you had siblings. When I was playing video games, like I was by myself.
Right.
So it's probably not as fun. I'm thinking about taking it up though, but like since I don't have any siblings, Leaf, you think your sister would want to play with me? Not funny. Okay.
Sponsor our podcast.
Leaf just fucking stared at me.
Yeah. Leaf's out. He's like, you know what? He's like, Shadow, not cool, man, not cool.
Hey, but we were talking about like all the references or all the influence.
Pop cultures.
Yeah. Kickboxer came out in '89, so I've got
for sure.
I've got to think.
Oh yeah, Kickboxer was big.
Not too cow.
Axel was supposed to be based off of Jean-Claude. 100% that was included in,
Yeah, dude.
the
I mean,
ideas
again,
or
like
the board.
the Ultimate Warrior's in there, Roadhouse is in there.
Yes.
Like there's so much Roadhead. There's so much shit that's in there that we're like, we see now with hindsight. When we were playing, the only one I picked up when we were playing as a kid, I remember being like, why is the fucking Ultimate Warrior in this?
Yeah. But that's exactly why I tell everybody to go back and play this, because in this game, you sort of get a microcosm of like the late 80s, early 90s, like pop culture. It's all in there if you pay attention.
And with
and
a
watch
fun
it.
fucking beat 'em up game.
Yes, it's such a good game, dude. It's so fun.
It's just fucking fun. So, guys, again, like, subscribe, hit us with 5 stars on the audio. I beg of you, go watch this on the video so you can see and be reminded of your childhoods. And guys, with that, take you over to the Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
Was O.J. Simpson high on speed the night of the murders? Absolutely not, said defense attorney Johnny Cochran today. And a simple test of any of O.J.'s blood found at the crime scene will prove it.